Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'ad. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahmanir Rahim. So I decided to make a review video about the status of the noun because what we started on Saturday, we ran out of time. So I wanted to give you a clear or the whole picture so that when we break it down into smaller pieces, you know what is coming. Yeah. So, inshallah, this short video will really help you understand. So, let me go ahead and tell you what I mean. Okay. So, nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'ad. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahmanir Rahim. So, what we are learning right now is the Arab. And when we look at the Arab, what we are looking for is that Arabic Arabs, the nouns, has a property called Arab, which is the status, and it could be any of these three statuses at a given time: Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. And for example, this chart, if you look at this information, like see, this is Al-Kitabu, and this is Al-Kitaba, and this is Al-Kitabi. So we learned so far that if a noun is singular, then we look at the last letter, and a Dhamma is Rafa, Fatha is Nasab, and Kasra is Jar. Now when you don't have the Al, the same word will be Kitabun, and Kitaban, and Kitabin. Again, this is a singular noun, so the two Dhamma are Rafa, two Fatha are Nasab, and two Kasra are Jar. And you can see in the same token, Muhammadun, Muhammadan, Muhammadin. Al-Babu, Al-Baba, Al-Babi. Babun, Baban, Babin. Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. So this one is pretty straightforward. So inshallah, what we looked at was that when we are dealing with a number, we have singular, dual, and plural. And in the plural, we have sound plural and broken plural. And then under sound plural, we have two more categories. So in order to understand these, we made them out of the 5 groups, we converted them into 4 groups. Now, if you're wondering, why do we have to do this? It's a simple reason that group number 1, which is the singular and the broken plural, the status can be told by looking at the last letter and the haraka. But in the rest of the groups, for example, the dual, you cannot tell the status by looking at the haraka. You have to look at the ending sound. Similarly, in the sound plural masculine, you cannot tell the status by looking at the haraka on the last letter. You have to look at the ending sound. And similarly, group number 4, sound plural feminine, the status can be told by the ending sound. And I'm going to give you the examples. For example, Rafa, Nasab, and Jar, we can, in the singular group or broken plural group, we can either look at the Dhammatan, Fatatan, and Kasratan at the last letter and give us the Rafa, Nasab, and Jar. Or they could be singular Dhamma, singular Fatha, or singular Kasra. So there is a typo here. This is supposed to be a Kasra. But when it comes to the dual, then I have the Ani sound at the end of the word as the Rafa sound, and Ina sound is the, or Aini, sorry, not Ina, is the Aini sound, which is the Nasab and Jar. So the good news is both Nasab and Jar has the same, Aini sound. In the sound plural masculine, the Rafa is the Una sound and the Nasab and Jar is Ina sound. Again, both Nasab and Jar are the Ina sound, but the context in the sentence will tell us whether it is Nasab or Jar. And inshallah, we'll look at some examples. But I wanted to give you this picture so that you understand what's going on. In the feminine sound, plural feminine, we have atun as the rafa sound and atin as the nasab and jar sound. Okay, so let's take an example. This is a complete chart. So you can now see the whole thing in one place. For example, for the wahid category, we have mudakkar and muannas. So rafa will be male, Muslimun, two dammatan, and the female will be Muslimatun. Simply knowing that this noun is singular, we go straight to the last letter, look at the last letter in the haraka, and I can say this is Rafa. And this is Mudakkar Rafa, this is Muannas Rafa. Musliman and Muslimatan, these are Nasab because these are singular and the last letter has the Haraka Fatatan. Muslimin, Muslimatin. You can see this chart can give you a bird's eye view of the whole picture. When I want to make the same word Muslim into Mutanna, like dual, if I'm dealing with the Mudakkar, the Rafa is Muslimani and Nasab and Jar will be Muslimaini. Muslimaini. So pay attention to the ending sound, the Aini sound. Muslimaini, Muslimaini. If you have the female, Muslimatani is the Rafa sound and Muslimataini, Muslimataini is the Nasab and Jar sound. When we have Jama Salim Mudakkar, we know that it's going to be Una sound, Muslimuna. So this chart is for the same word Muslim in all four categories, like the Wahid, Musanna, Jama Salim, now and the Jama Mukassar. In the Jama Salim, I have the Mudakkar with Muslimuna, Muslimina. So this is the Ina sound, Muslimina. And you will see this in the Quran that it sometimes is Muslimuna and sometimes is Muslimina. Now, same thing when you make it into Muannas, Muslimatun is the Rafa sound and Muslimatin is the Nasab sound and Muslimatin is the Jar sound. And inshallah, when you read the sentences, you will know whether it is Nasab or Jar. So that is a secondary thing. But what you need to understand that the atun sound is the rafa sound for the jama salim muannas and una sound is the jama salim mudakkar rafa sound. Yeah, muslimain, muslimina, muslimina, muslimatin, muslimatin. And some of you asked for the broken plural, which is known as jama mukassar. So kutubun is a jama mukassar for kitab. So kutubun, because wahid and jamas mukassar has the same rule. So we look at the last letter. Dammatan rafa. Kutuban nasab. Kutubin jar. Sufunun, sufunan, sufunin. So alhamdulillah, this should be very, very straightforward. So we have looked at these words in the class. So I'm just quickly going to glance over that. Sadikun, sadikan, sadikin. Sadikatun, sadikatan, sadikatin. So I'm just going to leave this one for your review. Now, look at this chart. This chart is the animation of the same thing I've shown you. So if you have the word mudakkar, and then you are dealing with wahid, musanna, and jama, and the word is kitab. So kitab will be, rafa will be kitabun, musanna will be kitabani, and jama will be kutubun. So this is an example of plural, mukassar, broken plural. What is the nasab? Kitaban and kitabaini and kutuban, because this is the mukassar. And jar will be kitabin, kitabaini, and kutubin. So inshallah, this should be very, very clear now that what's going on. If you have a muannas noun, wahid, mutanna, and jama, then we know that rafa will be kalamun, right? Kalamun will be, two will be kalamani, and the mukassar will be aklamun. Nasab will be kalaman, kalamaini, aklaman. Jar will be kalamin, kalamaini, aklamin. So you got the examples of the broken plural. Now, let's take a look at the status of the noun of mutanna. So it's the ending sound. So rafa, nasab, and jar will be ani, and aini sound. Yeah. For example, if you look at this word, kitabun, kitabaini, sorry, kitabun, kitabani, kitabaini, kitabaini, right? Jannatun, feminine, jannatani, jannataini, jannataini. Inshallah, you can find this in Surah Al-Kahf. Muslimun, muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. Muslimatun, muslimatani, muslimataini, muslimataini. This is the status and the ending sound. Yeah. Let's look at more examples. See, Rafa nasab and jar, muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. Kitabani, kitabaini, kitabaini. Waladani, waladaini, waladaini. Babani, babaini, babaini. Jidarani, jidaraini, jidaraini. Yeah. So it's the ending sound. Solihani, solihani, solihani. Now, if you make the mistake that, okay, you're going to look at the ending haraka on this word, then all of you going to say this is jar, this is jar, this is jar, because of the kasra, because you identify kasra as the jar sound or the jar status. But before you reach that conclusion, you have to look at the number. Muslimani is 2. This kasra would have been jar in the case of singular noun or a broken plural noun. So similarly, let's look at some other words. These are the feminine ones. Muslimatani, muslimataini, muslimataini. So you know this, jannatani, jannataini, jannataini. So I'm just going to fast forward to the next one. The male sound plural is the ending sound. The rafa, nasab and jar is the una sound and the ina sound. The una sound, the ina sound. Yeah. Let's look at some examples. Rafa, nasab and jar. Una, ina, ina. Muslimun, muslimuna. Muslimina, muslimina. Najjarun, najjaruna, najjarina, najjarina. Khayyatun, khayyatuna, khayyatina, khayyatina. So you got the idea. Fasikun, fasikuna, fasikina, fasikina. Now again, if you don't pay attention to the number of the noun, and if you only remember that fatha is supposed to be the nasab, then all of these, in your opinion, will be nasab, which is wrong because these are not nasab. In order to identify the noun of a sound plural masculine, you have to look for the una and the ina sound, inshallah. Let me take a look at this one. Muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. Kafiruna, kafirina, kafirina. Khaliduna, khalidina, khalidina. I'm sure you have seen these words in the Quran. Mujrimuna, mujrimina, mujrimina. Fasikuna, fasikina, fasikina. Munafikuna, munafikina, munafikina. Warithuna, warithina, warisina. Yeah. For the feminine, you have the rafa nasab and jar. Atun, atin, atin. Atun, atin, atin. Yeah. So look at some examples here. So muslimatun, muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. Now if you look at this dammatan, and if you don't pay attention to the sound plural feminine number, then you're going to say muslimatun is rafa. It is rafa not because of the tun or the dammatan, is because of the atun ending sound. So make sure that you understand this clearly. If you say muslimatin is jar because there are kasratan, then you are wrong because it's the atin sound and not the haraka, because the haraka only plays a role in the singular or the broken plural nouns. The other three groups, the reason we differentiated them, because they have the ending sound. So you can see these are some of the words which you can look at that. Okay, muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. Kanitatun, kanitatin, kanitatin. Sabiratun, sabiratin, sabiratin. Hafizatun, hafizatin, hafizatin. Fast forward. Let's see. Mudakkar, wahid, musanna, muslimun, muslimani, muslimuna. Yeah. Nasab, musliman, muslimaini, muslimina. Now this is another complete chart. Muslimin, muslimaini, muslimina. Yeah. Now the feminine will be muslimatun. Yes. Muslimatani, muslimatun. And nasab will be muslimatan, muslimataini, muslimatin. Jar will be muslimatin, muslimataini, muslimatin. So it's very important that you look at the information. So inshallah, we'll do this exercise in the class together. So let me see. Yes. So Alhamdulillah, I have covered most of it in a very short and a quick fashion so that you understand. That is extremely important to pay attention to the number of the noun, because the number of the noun tells you whether you have to look at the haraka on the last letter or you have to rely on the ending sound. Yeah. And these are some of the sounds. They're very easy. If you practice them and if you pay attention to them, inshallah, you will be ahead of time, in no time, inshallah. Okay, so the people who understand Urdu, I'm just quickly going to tell them that नाउन का स्टेटस जानने के लिए नाउन का नंबर जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है। क्या वो नंबर वाहिद है, मुसन्ना है, या जमा सालिम मुज़क्कर है, या जमा सालिम मुअन्नस है, या वो जमा मुकस्सर है। क्यों? क्योंकि जो वाहिद होता है और जो जमा मुकस्सर होता है, उसकी पहचान ये है कि लफ्ज़ के आखिरी लेटर पर जो हरका होती है उससे हमें स्टेटस पता चल जाता है। दो पेश हों तो वो रफ़ा होता है, दो दो ज़बर हों तो वो नसब होता है, और दो ज़ेर हों तो वो जर होता है। इसी तरह अगर एक पेश हो तो वो रफ़ा होता है, एक एक ज़बर हो तो वो नसब होता है, और अगर एक ज़ेर हो तो वो जर होता है। लेकिन डुअल में हम हरका पे रिलाई नहीं कर सकते, हमें उसकी साउंड देखनी है, हमें उसकी आवाज देखनी है कि वो एंड में कैसे खत्म होता है। तो रफा की साउंड होगी आनी, और जो नसब और जर है उनकी होगी ऐनी। ठीक है। और जो जमा सालिम मुदक्कर है उसकी रफा साउंड होगी ऊना, और नसब और जर साउंड होगी ईना। या जो जमा सालिम मुअन्नस है उसकी रफा की साउंड होगी आतुन, और उसकी जो नसब और जर है उसकी साउंड होगी आतिन। So inshallah, with this, I call it a night. It's like 12 o'clock at night. I hope that you find this video useful. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair.